At my heaviest, I weighed over 310 pounds, and this was mostly due to lifelong eating habits I developed as a child, a bad relationship with food, and an addiction to overeating. However, I was able to change my mindset, change my relationship with food, and change my habits, and I lost over 130 pounds. So, now that I have made all these changes and even practiced mindful eating, do I ever get the urge to overeat anymore? Well, truthfully, yeah, of course I do. In fact, sometimes I still overeat on occasion. Look, I'm not perfect, all right? Nobody is. But I'm also determined never to revert back to the way I used to be. It's a journey, all right? And we're going to talk about it right now on The Cog is Shred. Hey everybody, John here. Thank you so much for joining me today. And for all of you new subscribers, welcome and thank you so much for subscribing to The Cog is Shred. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe! Do it now! Get to the chopper! What am I doing? So if you're new here, I am not a dietitian. I am not a fitness expert. I don't know anything, okay? I'm not a doctor. I am actually a musician and a voice actor, but I am someone who has struggled with my weight and with food addiction all of my life, and I have finally managed to make real, lasting change that I am confident that I can stick with for the long term. I have seen the benefits of it, and I just want to share my personal journey with all of you in hopes that some of you out there who are struggling with the same things that I've struggled with can be inspired to make similar changes. So really, I just hope I can offer you some motivation and maybe a few helpful tips based on what's worked for me. So the topic of today's video is inspired by a question left in a comment by one of you. Rachel Brondell asked me, do you ever have the urge to overeat? And thank you so much, Rachel. That is a fantastic question. I know I already left a comment in response, but I really felt like this warranted talking about further in a video, especially since I talked so much about how mindful eating was such a vital part of me losing the weight. And these days, I do still eat fairly mindfully, but not quite in the same way I was when I was just focused on losing weight. And if you're curious to know what I'm talking about, you can check out my video, What is Mindful Eating?, where I talk more in depth about how I lost weight through mindful eating. Of course, these days, I'm focused more on lower calorie foods, higher protein foods, but also balance, because I don't only eat a strict low calorie diet, I eat a little bit of everything. Now, allowing myself to have balance with what I eat helps me so much because it means no food is off limits or forbidden, and so I never feel deprived. And I generally try to make smarter decisions these days when choosing what to eat because I will usually pick food based on how the food will make me feel. Back in the day, I would eat solely based on taste and indulgence, but I felt terrible when I ate that way. So that alone is such a motivating factor in helping me to make smarter choices, to eat things that I'm going to feel better after instead of eating something that's going to leave me feeling awful. Which is one of the reasons why I share so many of these low-calorie, high-protein recipes here on this channel, because those foods fill me up, they taste amazing, and I feel really good after eating them. I don't have the brain fog or the sluggishness. I have energy. Whereas if I went and had like a double cheeseburger from a fast food restaurant,
healthy food is for suckers. This is what you want to eat. The Paunch Burger Dinner for Breakfast Burger Combo. What's in it? Who cares? How many calories? Shut up.
I would usually not feel very good. These recipes actually help me to satisfy those cravings while still feeling amazing and maintaining my weight. That alone is enough of a motivating factor to make me want to eat stuff that's going to leave me feeling good. But of course, I like to have some wiggle room. I like to indulge every now and then, and I don't want to cut certain foods out of my life completely. But I also know a lot of those foods leave me feeling terrible, so I only eat them once in a while, and I try to eat them in moderation. However, I also have pretty severe ADHD, which means I still struggle with reckless behavior, being impulsive, and self-control. I mean, there's some of the biggest reasons why I struggle with my weight, with my food addiction all my life. And every now and then, sometimes the cravings do win out and I do overeat way too much of something that does leave me feeling terrible. It happens every now and then. But that feeling is also enough to make me go, oh man, I don't want to do this on a regular basis. That feeling alone is kind of that little reminder of this is the reason why you don't do this every day all the time anymore. Recent example, a few weeks ago, my wife and I watched Inside Out 2 for the first time. Loved it, by the way, very relatable. And for dinner, she made this amazing spaghetti and meatballs. Everything that she did, the pasta selection, the seasoning she added to the sauce, the meatballs themselves, it was really, really good. We ate it around the start of the movie, and I'm sitting there eating it, and I have way more in this bowl than I know I need. And I'm thinking, I'm probably not going to finish this.
You lie! You lie!
But it was so good. I was like, you know what?
Not this time.
It was amazing. It was really good. But I noticed as we were getting later on into the film, I was having trouble really focusing on the movie and following it as closely as I normally do. And I'm like, man, I just realized I've got this brain fog and I'm feeling sleepy and sluggish and also just feeling overheated. Sometimes when I have a big meal and a lot of carbs, I feel very hot. I mean, it's just like my body is just telling me,
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
But hey, I overate that one meal. Sure, I didn't need it. Sure, I didn't feel great. Did I gain back all my weight? No. The next morning, I got up and I worked out. I used all those carbs to give me fuel for my workout in the morning. That's one thing too. I don't beat myself up or punish myself the way I used to when I would diet if I overeat. Back in the day, if I would have a big cheat meal, I'd be like, oh, well, I've fallen off the wagon. Might as well give up. And then I'd just eat more and more junk. But now having that feeling of like, I don't like the way this makes me feel, it doesn't throw me off. And I'm able to maintain my weight with the occasional slip up, if you want to call it that, with the occasional large meal. Having balance, is much different than just going full bore back to eating, nothing but junk food all the time. I calculated on an average day, back when I was at my heaviest, I would eat somewhere around 6,000 calories, give or take, in a day. I don't know how I mean, I didn't feel good, but I did it because I was just indulging on the flavorful food. Now, if I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat. If I'm just like, I can't put any food in my stomach right now, I won't, because I don't like the way I feel when I do that. Those changes of habits and the change of my mindset around eating, the reason why I eat, the things that I like to eat, the things that I want to eat, all of those changes have helped me so much. These are permanent changes now. This is not a diet. It's not a crash diet, something I'm sticking with temporarily until I reach a certain goal weight. This is an actual change of my habits and my thinking about food in general and the reasons why I eat. All of those changes have been so helpful, because now I've just made a lifestyle change. I do have to say though, I think sweets are one of my biggest downfalls. I have to be very careful because it's so easy to overindulge. These things I discovered recently, oh my goodness, I have become so addicted. Hold on. These Reese's Animal Crackers, peanut butter, chocolate with a crispy animal cracker center. Hold on. This isn't a paid endorsement for Reese's. I just eat these things all the time. But I have to be very careful. I could probably eat this entire bag in one sitting, and I would feel awful. I would literally feel sick. A serving is 4 pieces. It's 150 calories. I try to stick to 4. I usually can't. I have to be very, very careful with stuff like this. And yet, I still have it in the house because, again, nothing is off limits. Having balance helps me to not just go crazy and eat a ridiculous amount of stuff. These are so good, though. I'm gonna get one more just because they're addictive. Oh. So I gotta be careful with these, but still, they're not off limits. So again, the main point of this video, do I ever feel the urge to overeat? Yes, and I still do overeat every now and then, and that's okay. I'm not perfect. I'm human, and so are you. Please don't be so hard on yourself. One of the most important things that I have learned along the way is to finally abandon the all or nothing mentality I used to have around dieting. I used to feel like I had to be perfect, and if I made one little mistake, I was a failure. And that's just not how we are. Some people do have amazing discipline, but most of us, life is a struggle. And it's full of ups and downs. Circumstances change, your job may change, your schedule may change, you may get a cold, you never know. The path to success is never a straight line. We can look at before and after photos and think, okay, this person was overweight, they struggled, they found the solution, and now everything's great. And you don't see the journey, you don't see the setbacks. Setbacks are going to happen. So if you're on a weight loss journey and you have a setback or you have one big meal, just remember it's okay. It's not going to undo all your progress. Just tell yourself, okay, I tripped. Pick yourself up, carry on with the journey. Don't punish yourself for being human. Nobody does things perfectly. So instead, focus on sticking with it and just being as consistent as you possibly can, not on being perfect. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe to the Cog is Shred for more videos about my weight loss and fitness journey and lots of recipes that are things that I eat on a regular basis that have helped me to lose and maintain weight. So until next time, keep at it, stay consistent, and keep on eating. Take care.